In this video, we are going to tvtropes.org. We're pulling out their RPG mechanics and we're attaching them to personal development techniques and skills and mindsets. And this one is called Arbitrary Headcount, and I'm going to kind of pull it apart a bit, but it's a really, really cool technique and something that you can instantly do in your life to break free, to get over the obstacle, to go around it, to see things from a wider perspective. What's up, Game Changers? It's Sherman here from Geek Psychology, helping you find your true character and level it up so you can play life better. In this video, we're talking about perceptual positions. But before we get into that, let's talk about arbitrary headcount. So this is kind of weird. I'm sure you already understand what it is, but just to briefly talk about it. Like if you're playing an RPG, usually your party can only have like 4 or 5 characters. We're going to switch it a little bit. We're going to tweak it a little bit. We're going to talk more about different people. Okay? 3 different positions that you can take when you're trying to understand a problem, when you're trying to help yourself get out of this rut, this nasty situation that you're in, and you're just like frustrated at another person's behavior. You just can't figure out how to get through, like break through that thing, whatever it is, or you feel like you're being held back or something like that. So what this is, perceptual positions, is a technique that I'm sure a lot of NJs do within the Myers-Briggs type already, but maybe you don't have the language for it yet, so this might help. It's taking on 3 different positions. Okay, first position is yourself. So when you have your problem, really get into yourself and like, what am I going through right now? How am I feeling about this? What are the causes and all that internal muck that you're going through? What am I trying to do? Like, what are the steps that I've been taking that just kind of haven't been working or that I keep trying to do? And then you go into the second position, which is the other person likely that is involved in that situation. So if you're having like an easy one is if you're having a fight with your partner, right? You do it from your perspective, then you go into their perspective. What's really cool is when you do it with like 2 chairs. You sit down in a chair, facing nobody, but pretending that it's that other person, imagining like it is until you get into it, and you tell them how you feel, what's going on, all this other stuff, all these, negative emotions or whatever you're trying to do. And then you get up, you sit down in their side of it, like they're looking at you, and go from their perspective. If you've never done anything like this before, I know it's weird. Almost everything I talk about in this channel is kind of weird, but it works. You can do amazing things by just shifting your perspective, by just seeing it from another way. And if you don't feel like you can, just, as I said before, imagine like you can. Like if you could do this, what would you do? If you could see it from another person's perspective, how would they feel? I know you can't, but if you could, what would it be like? And just let your mind go and just embrace whatever comes out. It's part of that active imagination and just getting into all the different possibilities that your mind can hold. And so after you've done it from your perspective, you've gone through the issue, you've done it through the other person's perspective, then go from a third position, a third person's perspective. So somebody that's watching you two fight. For example, you're fighting with your partner, okay, and then a friend that's watching that situation, or just some other person, somebody that you don't even know watching the situation. You can also do this with different inanimate object perspectives as well, like the house. What would the house say about this? What would the walls say? So I'm going to bring this now into the cognitive functions. Myers-Briggs, cognitive functions, Carl Jung's work that became the MBTI code. I have plenty of videos on this. I even have one within this series already talking about all the different characters, all the different cognitive functions. An adventure is you is what it's called. So basically, these are 8 different characters, 8 different ego states that we take on, 8 different behavioral sets, ways of taking in information, ways of making decisions based on that information, ways of interacting within ourselves and without ourselves in the external world. When I have a problem, I look at it from the different perspectives of the different cognitive functions personified as different characters. Lately, I've been personifying them as a mix of an animal and an RPG character, which is kind of cool, like the resonating panda priest and the innovative squirrel tinker, things like that, because it's got some nice flavor to it. But so thinking of, okay, let's think of an example. Let's say that I want to learn tarot. Okay, I want to learn tarot cards, although I have already kind of studied it. But so from the first character's perspective, okay, of my personality type, maybe I would be on this resonating panda priest, and he's looking at it and he's thinking like, actually it's a she. She's looking at it, she's thinking like, well, you know, if you really want to know this stuff, you need to make sure that you have the conviction about it. You need to make sure that this really aligns with something that you want to do in your life. Okay? Then the next one, the innovative or innovating squirrel tinker, is looking at it and like, wow, there's so many different possibilities. Like, look at all these different characters and the stories that you could create with it, all the different, options and the different things that you could do. Maybe you could, take it along and go traveling and use tarot to, raise some money or something like that. Then there's another character, perhaps like the stabilizing turtle guardian. It's like, well, why don't you just look into how things happened in the past? Why don't you look to other authorities? You could really study from somebody who has already gone through this, already learned all these things. You don't need to just explore on the internet or whatever. You could actually get a coach for it. Somebody with authority, somebody with experience to help you understand what issues you're going to have and, what you could do with it. Right? And then maybe the strategizing rhino commander. Okay. So that one, he's just like, is this really what you want to do? Are you sure about this? Is this going to help you out? Is this really going to give you any structure and hold in the world? Probably not. But if you're going to do it, maybe you want to make a business around it and really work on the ROI and the metrics and, all that stuff that I don't really do. Right, but it's another perspective. It's a way of looking at it differently. And of course, you don't have to do this with just cognitive functions, although I think that is the best way of doing it. But you can also do it with people that you admire. You could do it with a game developer. You could do it with Oprah and your grandma. And just get their perspectives on the situation. And whatever comes out, just listen to it as if you would when they're actually talking to you. If they were there giving you their feedback, their information about it, listen to it and respect that, because it's a part of you that is giving you this advice. It might not be the best advice, but it might be. You don't know until you listen to it, until you try it. So this is where my mind went with the arbitrary headcount. Because it's arbitrary. We all tend to just stick to our own perspective. And going out into other people's perspectives is an amazing thing. And something that can really help you solve your problems, help you live a better life, help you play life like a hero. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope it gave you a new perspective on things, and really try it. Try using it. Put it into your life. Just whatever issue that you're going through right now, try it. Okay, what is my perspective on this? What is the other person's perspective or the other thing's perspective? And then that third detached observer-like perspective. And bring in different characters, superheroes, whatever you got to do, and be like, what would this person do? Or what would this person think if they were watching this situation? Because you'll get a lot of really good insight. And if you are interested in personal one-on-one coaching, you can go to my website, geekpsychology.com. If you're an INFP, please go to inowfeelpositive.com and get your life right. And if you're interested in some more videos from this series, check it out over there. Keep up the lifelong questing. Good luck, have fun. Peace.